Let's talk about this last episode of Mama June. So we see Josh and he decides to go out to Colorado and see Alana after Pumpkin told him, like, look, Alana misses you. You need to go see her. So he decided to kind of do like a little pop-up, like what June's infamous for. He decided to just show up out there. I guess he tried to call her and get a hold of her, but she wasn't responding. So he just did a little pop-up out in Colorado and surprised her right before she's going to go to this like dean's ceremony, since she's like on the honor roll. She has like a 3.8 GPA, which is amazing. And he surprises her and Alana was really happy. You know, I think Alana needs to stop being so hard on Josh. I feel like she needs to be more understanding that Josh has a whole newborn and he's like got a lot on his plate right now. He's not on the show making as much money as he was back in the day, so now he really has to go out there and get it out the mud. I do think it's kind of crazy, though, that he hasn't reached out all this time. Like, she hasn't come across your mind at all, to the fact that you just wanted to check up on her at all before this and be like, hey, how's college? How's things going for you? But I do know he has a lot on his plate, but I'm sure Alana is kind of looking at him like he's Sugar Bear at this point, because Sugar Bear always tried to make it seem like he wanted to be in Alana's life and he was such a good father, but then Alana would claim that when the cameras went around, he wasn't keeping that same energy. But I'm sure it was uncomfortable for Josh when him and Pumpkin divorced, because he's probably trying to figure out, well, is it still my place to reach out to Alana? Does Alana want to even hear from me, or is she all on Pumpkin's side? Because typically when people break up, they side with their family members. I didn't know this part until this episode, but apparently Alana had been reaching out to Josh this whole time, and he was just leaving her on red and totally ghosting her. I thought that neither one of them were reaching out to each other, and I was kind of thinking that, like, why doesn't she try to reach out too? But apparently he was just ignoring her, and he blamed it on the fact that he was just going through so much at the time. And he sat down with Alana and took her out to eat, and he was apologizing to her for that. And she's like, man, I just wanted to hear from you. And I think Josh is just one of those people that when he's going through it, that's how I am. I just don't like talking to people. I don't like bringing other people down with me, so I just stay to myself, even though that may not always be the best and healthy way to approach things. And I think that's how Josh is. And I think Josh was just scared that Alana was going to want to talk about Pumpkin or about what he had going on, so he just shut that off altogether because it made him feel uncomfortable. But they were able to talk things out, and he apologized to Alana, and then he pulled up and had ice cream with Draylon and a few of Alana's friends, and Draylon was caught off guard when he saw him, and he was even confused. He's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, you know, just showing up and showing out and doing fatherly things. And Draylon was like, what? You haven't done no fatherly things in like the past year. And even the friends were calling out Josh like, you know, we haven't even ever met you this whole time, and we've been in school with Alana for like going on 3 years now. So where have you been this whole time? And Josh apologized and said, look, I just been going through a lot. And he revealed he had a kid, and I guess he hid that from Alana for a while, that even he had another baby. And I think she probably heard, like we all did, from the blogs or from the family instead of Josh herself, and that made her feel some type of way about the situation. Josh's girlfriend that he just had this baby with, she posted on social media that he would have to be paid $1 million to be able to be on a show again. So it sounds like he's done with the show. And honestly, I wouldn't blame him, because it just seems like they're just trying to put him in a lot of uncomfortable positions, like have him meeting with Darren and have him going to Colorado and just showing up unexpected in front of all these people. And now let's talk about Jessica and Shyann. So we saw them move in with June in the last episode because their place burned down, and at the time they're considering that it could possibly be an arson. So they're scared to go back to their place altogether because they don't feel safe at all in case it was an arson. So they moved in with June. And so they're sitting there settling in. It's only the first day that they're there, and they decide to go and run some errands. And Jessica's in the car waiting, and Cheyenne's like, oh snap, I forgot my wallet. wallet. So she had to run back inside the house to get her wallet. And June was sitting there on the couch, and that couch looked comfy as hell. I need to get a couch like that. But she was sitting there all laid back, all sprawled out. She's not wearing no underwear. She's not wearing no bra. Her boobs are just flapping in the air. And she's just laying on top of Justin in the living room. And Shyann was like, what the hell? And as soon as she saw that, she like covered her eyes and ran out the door. And she said that she was traumatized and told Jessica, like, man, I just walked in on your mom and she's on top of Justin half naked. And Jessica was like, well, that's just part of the family. Welcome to the family. And she said everybody who gets close to the family has seen June's boobs at this point. But it's like, okay, you have Caitlyn too, and you got all these camera crew people, and you know that Jessica and Shyann are there, even though they're leaving to do errands. I mean, just the fact you have other people living in your house now, if you're going to be doing stuff like that, you need to just go in your bedroom. I know June pays the bills, but I guarantee you, like, say if they went over to Jessica and Cheyenne's place when they still had their place, if she would have went over there and she walks in and Cheyenne's going down on Jessica like she's eating her last supper, June would feel uncomfortable too. Nobody wants to see that shit, especially your family members. Shyann grabbed her wallet, she rushed back outside, and then later on, they had dinner together, and Shyann sat down with June, Justin, and Jessica, and June just starts questioning Shyann, and she's like, you know, we try to do everything we can to make you feel comfortable, but I just don't know what your problem with me. And Cheyenne's like, I don't get what your problem is with me. Is it because Jessica doesn't come over for weekly family dinners? And she's like, because that has nothing to do with me. That's Jessica deciding not to come over, not me. But June kind of made a good point. She feels some type of way because here Jessica and Shyann are engaged, and she feels like Shyann really hasn't made no effort to get to know June. And I would feel some type of way as a mother if here you are engaged to my daughter, and every time you come around you just say hi, but you never like try to sit down and have a conversation with me. Like, this really feels like one of the first real conversations they're having, getting to know each other, and it shouldn't have taken this long for them to finally have this conversation. And by now it seems like June has already kind of made her mind up with Shyann, and she feels some type of way about Shyann, and no matter what Shyann says to June, it seems like June just can't get past that. Shyann said, look, I know you don't know me, but it's really giving you don't like me, so I just want to know straight up, do you not like me? And June said, well, it's not that I don't like you, but the fact that she couldn't just straight up answer that by saying no, you can tell that she definitely has some kind of vendetta against Shyann. And she's like, it's not that I don't like you, it's just I can't trust you. She said that there's way too many red flags when it came to Shyann. She didn't like the fact that Shyann was rushing to marry Jessica so fast as soon as she got with her. Then Shyann got so mad, she stormed off to the room that her and Jessica are staying in, and she threatened Jessica, I don't know if I want to get married anymore. And she said that she's going to probably be moving in with her mom because she can't handle living with June, and she's going to move in with her mom with or without Jessica. I don't know, I have a hard time believing they actually moved in with June. I have a feeling like, I don't know. I just don't see both of them living with June and them lasting long term. I just kind of feel like it's a storyline. Like, we know they're not living at their house because it burned down. But I just feel like they have something else figured out. Or if they did stay with June, it was probably just for a few days of filming, and then they figured out something right after that. But you guys let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching.